you used to always tell me on a brotherly level that every human has a need for protection. And I never understood that. And I completely understand that now. I will let you talk about this aspect of protection in the course of the human journey in whatever way you deem fit.
Yeah. From the time I became famous, which was completely unplanned, because and neither had I any specific desire for fame, by the way. When almost pretty much everybody who knew me, the people without agenda, there are some alag baat hai, but most of them I had no specific desire for fame. Things just happened very coincidentally and shot me up to fame. And then I realized that there are some interesting things with respect to fame. One of them is that you, even if suppose the things that I speak, my perception in over the 3 years now is that good 80 to 90% of the people have a very positive outlook towards it and take it very positively, and it affects them in a positive manner.
You're saying audiences.
Audiences, okay, what whether I'm speaking in your show or anywhere else, and it causes a say 85 to 90% is a very very positive response. And it is entirely because of the blessings of Ma Kamakhya, Matara, and Bhairav Baba that they do the sadhanas with faith and they see so many positive results. I mean, I could write books after books about it. I mean, I have 2 email IDs and there's a whole team. All they do is day in and day out keep processing the mails. Okay, so stories and miraculous things happening. Somehow, some people think that I am doing nothing. My role is very limited. What came to me organically as an inspiration to speak, I spoke, and the raters did whatever. They use instruments, they get things done. But there is a 10% people who will be extremely jealous of you. That is the way, that is the one key factor of somebody who comes in the public eye, and is always going to happen. And 10% is because I'm lucky in the sense that it is not so heavy. For other people, it could be more than 10, 20, 30%. In my case, or in some other cases also, these 10%, so 10% is a significant number when you are a public figure, kind of. Public figure, I mean that a lot of people know you across the land. Okay. And there will be a tremendous amount of jealousy, hate, envy. These are the three spaces from this comes. All this rest are just excuses. These are the real motivating emotions that bring it to them. Some of them may even be unstable emotionally, or the jealousy, because these things are jealousy, or these are emotions, negative emotions basically. So a person suffering from some kind of who's a little emotionally unstable, whose mind is not in grip of his or her emotions, and feels a certain degree of envy, may go to any extent to cause you harm. So that is where we have, and these are things from the texts only. I'm saying nothing that I've invented. I never speak anything that is outside the texts. So there are things where they may try to do things like black magic, avichara, etc. You won't even know. Your face is everywhere. They can take a photo and start doing it. So these things are real. These things happen. And specifically, it happens the more you become famous. Uh, if destiny has made you famous and given you a purpose, then you follow the purpose, because destiny knows best why it has given you. It is not about your will or anything. It's about the will of the gods. They want you at a certain position, they have put you. But also be practical so that you take enough precautions that these things cannot cause you harm eventually. So I, from my perspective, I have at least 5-10% very strong enemies, and they, I mean, people close to me, they're well aware of those. So they are a little, the screw is off in their head, so they can go to any extent, I know, and they try also, it's there. But entirely entirely blessings of Bhairav Baba and blessings of Matara specifically, and Ma Kamakhya, that they keep me protected. And it is important to do some practices that help you to protect yourself.
Which is called Kavacham.
Kavacham is one part. It depends on the degree of perception of threat that you have.
What is Kavacham?
Kavacham is an armor, spiritual armor. Every deity has a Kavacham. Okay. So once you read the Kavacham, it forms like an aura around you. It protects you from any negative, whether it's a negative being or negative individual or negative thoughts. See, negative thoughts also affect. I mean, you don't have to actually sit and do rituals. If 10, 15 people really hate you and they constantly think that, okay, let him fall, something bad happens to him, let something bad happens to him, the accumulated thought force also is going to cause some impact on your life.
Nazar. What
We call it Nazar, which we already know, for it's a common human knowledge. And this idea of Nazar is not something that only Indians and Hindus have discovered. It's there across the world, right? The evil eye or whatever you call it. So it's a common lived experience of humanity. So therefore, whenever a person becomes very famous, and specifically you are also, the other part is that you're also involved in some kind of, knowingly or unknowingly, some kind of activity that is helping dharma. For example, suppose people are doing Bhairavanama. Okay. Whether you consciously did anything or not is irrelevant. That so many people are getting attracted. They're having a positive experience. They're doing lakhs of japa every Ashtami Tithi. Some sadhanas are going on specifically for Bhairava, as well as other deities and different tithis. So you are consciously or unconsciously becoming an instrument of the gods for establishing some dharma in this world. Immediately there will also be some opposition from the negative forces, and negative forces did not suddenly, it's not like those mythological stories, they'll just appear in front of you and do something. They have the capacity to change the minds of people and cause them to attack you in some way or the other. And in order to protect oneself, therefore, Kavacham is the first step. There are many other degrees of protection required.